The biggest one is in alcohol-related cases. The biggest mistake a lot of people make is they don't bother to read the temp license. That normally in an alcohol-related case, if the officer has evidence that the person's .08 or higher, or if they believe that they're going to be when they're tested, they have a reasonable belief of that, they will take the person's license, seize it, and then give them a pink temporary, which is good for 30 days. In that license, that temporary license, which is complicated with a ton of writing on it, it looks like, it's kind of like you just want to, I don't want to read that, it's too complicated, it's like a bunch of fine print. In there, they advise the people, that the defendants, that they have 10 days to contact DMV safety. So some people make the mistake of actually going to a regular DMV and saying, yeah, I'd like to set a hearing, I'm here within 10 days. Typically, in regular DMVs, I'm not talking about the DMV safety offices that are upstairs like here in Sacramento, but typically at a regular DMV, you're going to get really bad advice. You're going to get horrible and legal advice, which is not legal. And people will be turned away and they'll be told something that's not true, so by the time they contact me sometimes, it's too late to get a hearing. In alcohol-related cases, what's at stake is 30 days no driving. That's a hard suspension, and then 5 months on a restricted on a first. To further complicate it, the DMV, when they send out these orders, the order makes it look like the person can't drive at all for 4 months. And unless they have an attorney to explain it to them that they can get a provisional license or restricted license 30 days after the driving stops, then they don't know, and sometimes they're without their car longer. So the stay is important. The other thing that's important about requesting this hearing and discovery and a stay is that you have an opportunity to request the in-car camera, if there is one, the video and the audio from the stop. Unfortunately, the officers tend to move the defendants off to the side of the road out of the view of the camera, so a lot of times you can only hear the field sobriety test, but you can see the driving. So that's the big deal about the 10 days. It's unfortunate that these temp licenses are so complicated and so incredibly hard to read and misleading. Clients will sometimes have long conversations with witnesses between the time of they'll call their friends, say, hey, what do you remember? They'll talk about it. That's not a good thing, because you may have a witness, if they're close to you, then certainly there's an argument that maybe they're biased.